Okay, Ben, so 62 in the last test that you did, which was a C, so let's see if you can improve on that this time. That 0 is in the wrong place. What you've written there is 2,250,310. You need that 0 in that space to make it 2,025,000. 23,008 is correct though. 38, 32, 46, 42, 119, 81. And you've got the full list there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 7 marks there. That's correct. This one isn't, because actually 3 goes into 51. 3 goes into 5 once, remainder 2, 3 goes into 21 7 times. So what they're looking for there is 53 or 59. 14 is correct. 6 out of 16 is correct, but it's not going to get you full marks because it's not in its simplest form. Because both of those numbers divide by the same thing, they both divide by 2. In its simplest form, that becomes 3/8. So total for the page, 8, 10, 11. Done the right maths here, can't argue with the maths, but this is a question where they expect you to explain to me what steps you were taking. You haven't communicated that at all, so you can't get that quality of communication question. And with this one, that is 8 and that is 10. So you made a couple of mistakes there. What you should, the better way of doing it is when you're tallying to cross off as you're going. So if you start with a C, then a T, then a H, then a C, then a T, so you can see what you've got left and you can make sure that you haven't missed any out. So you're going to lose those marks because you made 2 mistakes in your tally. But your graph is right. You've labelled the axes, so you'll get the 4 marks for that. That is correct, and for you, that is correct as well. Those are right. 11 for the page. Now with this question, your units are wrong because perimeter is centimeters, but because it hasn't asked you for the units, there's no marks for them, so it doesn't matter. This is the question where they're asking for your units, and your units are right there. Centimetre squared is the unit for area. 4 tenths, 3 tenths, 0.4, 30%. Excellent. 10 marks on that page. 5, 1 win, 1 draw, 2 losses. No, it's correct. 2 meters and 5 meters is good. And I can see what your method is there. Excellent. This is wrong. That one's right. So let's look at this one. What you've got here is a rhombus. So a rhombus is a square that's on the slant. So all the sides are the same length, and it basically means that that triangle and that triangle are identical. So that angle is 37, that angle is 37. Because the sides are the same length, because it's a square, then that makes that an isosceles triangle. In an isosceles triangle, the angles at the bottom of the sides, equal sides, are the same. So that's 37, that's 37, because those are the same sides, which means you can add those up, take them away from 180, and it gives you X. 5 for that page. That's right, that's right. That is right, that is right. You've just taken them away incorrectly. It's £10.50. So unlucky. 2b minus 1a is correct. That's correct. This one's wrong. And I did point this out to be careful with the divide when we went through this week. Something divided by 5 is 10. So the opposite of dividing by 5 is multiplying by 5. which is 50. So the total for that page is 9. With this next question, you're not going to get any marks. Even if those are correctly circled, you wouldn't get any marks because you have to give an explanation. Now what you've actually circled here is wrong anyway, because 2, what they're looking for is the number 2, which is a prime number and it's even. With this question, again, what you've circled is wrong, because take a number like 18, if you half 18 you get 9. So they're looking for counter examples to do that. This one is right with you. That is right. Now what you've actually got there is 2 to the power of 1, 3 to the power of 1. We don't tend to write the powers in, but by putting them in, it's helpful when you're dealing with squares. When you're dealing with square numbers, any square number written like this, all the powers are always even. So in order to make a square number there, I have to make that 2 to the power of an even number. If I multiply it by 2, I get 2 squared. If I multiply it by 3, I get 3 squared. So in order that that becomes a square number, I have to multiply by 2 and multiply by 3, which means what I'm doing is multiplying the number by 6. That's right, well done. 7 for the page. 75 is correct. It is Tom. That's not the explanation that we want. What we're looking for there is for you to see that Billy, his long logs are here, and there are only 10 of them. There's only 10 logs longer than 65 centimeters, whereas Tom has got 30, 10, 40 logs longer than that. So that's what they're looking for as an explanation. You showing that you understand that there's a greater frequency in Tom's longer than 65 than there is in Billy's. So 1 mark there. $234, 60, 692, 60. Excellent. So 4 marks for that. 180 is, well, it's nothing. You haven't done any work with that yet. Take a look how I work through that on the video clip, see if it makes sense. 65 is wrong. Again, watch how I work through that on the video. And 8 is correct. And that's another one to watch on the video. So it's quite a strong paper. What do you say we're looking to improve on? 62. 62, you're not going to be far off. Let's have a look. 11, 14, 25, 35, 45, 50, 59, 66, 67, 71, 74. That's really, really good, Ben. That's smashed last week's. What I want to see now is a similar mark on a paper 2. If you can do that, you're going to fly this grade C in November. Well done.